What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, it's Leanne. I am recording for the sake of growth, wisdom, and enlightenment on this journey with Shedding into Soul Culture podcast 43. On a journey with a student and a friend and a referral, and referring to this 8-week blueprint program that's been designed with tools and skills um, for reset, for accountability, for checking in, for healing, for learning, expanding, and for grounding energy. And so, Mandeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leanne. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
How are
So,
you today?
Mandeep was referred by another Mandeep who had taken the program, and it's helping his life. So, depending on your vulnerability, Mandeep, are you kind of open to talking about, what you were going through that made you want to look for a program like this?
Yeah, of course. So I talked to my friend Mandeep, as we know, he referred me, and I was looking for something more stable, something that I would say, some tools that could help me be more present in my daily life. You know, and as you know, I think I mentioned to you before as well. I had an accident last year around earlier. Actually, it was late 2023, and I was getting back. I really wanted my mobility back, especially lower back. And I was doing great, but I think I hit a roadblock somewhere, and that's when many told me that maybe I should try yoga because it really does. I think with getting my back well, what I needed was something to touch me on energetic level. It's not physical anymore. You there's a point when you try all the physio, all the massage therapists, all the kinesiologists, but I feel I needed some healing on an energetic level, and the
Mm,
only thing that could have given me that was yoga.
mm,
Because it does touches you deeply. All the meditation, the breathing, the way you do all the asanas, they deeply impact you, and I believe yoga has done that for me, where I have, I would say, a solid foundation to stand on, to work on, and day by day, it's only getting better from there on.
mm. So it's like your first introduction to yoga?
Yes, this is the first time I've done it.
Mm. So yeah, so we learned a lot together and we got through a good amount of time together. Now through that process, I remember a couple of things you were talking about, which I'd love to highlight. Just with the awareness of pure observation and stillness is how yoga helped you when you were washing the dishes or laundry and those things. So maybe you can touch on for the listeners that are aware and giving value to these practices, um, how it also helped your moments every day.
Yeah, so once you get going, once you do a couple of classes and you start practicing at home, what slowly starts to happen is that, all our life we wait for something extraordinary to happen. It's like, oh, something big is gonna happen, or I will, to be myself, I need entirely different lifestyle. But what yoga makes you realize is the real satisfaction that you're looking for, that is the satisfaction of the heart, is in little things. Is how you, I would say, make your breakfast. How you fold your laundry, how you,
Mm,
do things around your house. How you, I would say, even just get up out of your bed, how you go to sleep, just the little things. This is where life is. There is the, what almost our ego tricks us into thinking that the grand vision that we have to fulfill in order to be happy. Now, yoga cuts right through that and makes you, it humbles you. And it's not that, it's the feeling that you're looking for in the grand things. You will find it in the smaller things, like everyday things. Now, like again, that could be, like I said, making your breakfast, making your tea, or driving, going to work, at work. These little things is where you will eventually more deepen yourself.
mm. Are you finding that that was more like We learned a lot about the stillness of the Shiva nature and the activeness of the Shakti. Maybe you can touch on both of them because that sounds more like the inner stillness of the consciousness observing. How about activity wise? Did you feel like any outburst of like a good amount of energy also, other than just being content?
Definitely, I would say, for example, at work, you know, there's if you work with different people, like somebody's doing their job, somebody's maybe some people are new. It gives you what it gives you is this vitality, this new energy that maybe was already there, you couldn't tap into it or something, but it gives access to that energy, will help you deal with more challenging situations and excel forward in your career. It helps you so you can stick with one goal. This is what you want. If at work, being a good employee, or being, I would say, a promotion or a new job, or just doing your work to the best of your ability, it helps you by giving you vitality. Like, I'll do this, I'll deal with all these challenging situations when nobody else is dealing with them. When everybody else is looking the other way, I have to focus on the right way. And that's where yoga gives you that extra energy so you can move forward. You can push through resistance.
Mm,
And I would say, even in the gym, there's a time when, like, there's a new baseline that we all have set for ourselves. Like, when you do yoga, when you're already still in the morning, after the meditation, like you said, the witnessing presence, once the presence gets stronger, you already know what's the right thing to do for yourself. Like in the gym, I would say it's just working specifically on the muscles that you really want to, you
mm,
know, or
mm,
maybe I don't want to, like, do certain exercises that everybody else is doing, you
mm,
know, I want to do what's good for me.
mm,
Maybe it's today, all I'm going to do is running. I'm going to run for 45 minutes. Today, I'm going to stretch for half an hour. There's no, there's the thing is, it's very flexible. The energy, I would almost say, is when energy is free within you, what yoga does is frees the energy within you. You become very flexible.
mm,
You're not rigid anymore. It's easy to change your schedule, and it's easy to, get out of the routines, but still be very true to yourself.
mm,
So it's almost like you're growing in places where you thought all I have to do is go linear.
mm,
Maybe all you have to do is go linear, but actually, maybe if you go, you can be very flexible in, different aspects of your life. Could be job, could be your way you work out, could be, the way you eat, the way you cook, the way you dress. It's, yoga's just everywhere. It impacts your life in every aspect.
mm. As a wholeness, yeah. Like it's just interesting though, like how did you enjoy working on each chakra throughout the 8 weeks? So did you notice that it had impact on, taking your time with the body?
Absolutely. Well, like, I would, like, when you say, sorry, taking the time with the body, sorry, how do you mean that?
Well,
Like,
you're able to separate once a week the chakras, right? Versus,
yeah.
so you just got more in tune with this energetic system.
Yes. So what happened is, like, every chakra had a different impact upon me. Like, the root chakra will make you trust myself, make me more safe, security in relationships.
Mm,
And if I would say, the heart chakra, it will be more authentic expression.
mm,
Just the little things, it's almost like once you go into a class, then something comes from there and it just happens. Then you notice, oh, this is happening because I was in a class today. you know Maybe, I'm speaking my truth because I did this meditation on my throat chakra. It's it's like everything you do in a class or everything you practice, it automatically comes out in your daily life, in different ways.
mm,
And I think that's beautiful. It is very beautiful.
mm. Wonderful. Yeah, that's kind of where I learned over the years too, is like just with this whole energetic system, as much as it's giving me these experiences of what we call samadhi in the 8 limbs,
Hmm.
we still deal with the emotional body, and we recognize like when we come across a gift or a problem that it's stemming somewhere, either something's repressed because life is about learning,
Mm-hmm.
or something is overactive. And so
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like the beauty of continuing this system or sharing it with people is really to show them, like, hey, go do a headstand, watch how energy shifts. Did you notice that like, when you did a headstand?
Oh yeah, definitely is mind-boggling to be honest, because there's a huge shift that happens. It does happen, I would say, at the time when you completely just are in an upside position. It's and I think the more you stay in that position, it just because like I never thought I would do this, but you really helped me get there. I remember the day you were like, "Hey, let's do this. I know you can do this," and slowly, the way you guided me, I was able to do it, and it changes your whole, I would say, physiology for a few minutes.
Mm,
It kind of helps you reset everything. You
mm-hmm,
know, I'm like,
mm-hmm.
oh, that's awesome. That's like I never knew I could do a headstand, but but you helped me through it, and thank you for that, Leanne. And
Well,
every now and then I try at home, and it's awesome. It's like a reset. Like you reset your whole system.
yeah, I
That's what
love it.
happens.
And you know what I learned too myself, honestly speaking, is like when I had emotional interruptions energetically or in my life, and a lot of emotions will be like why we cry. Like our heart opens, but like we cry from our eyes, and like the eyes tend to like pour out something, and it's so close to that crown chakra where we do a headstand and like all the pressure goes down there. It's like I would notice my emotional scale doing these postures or asanas in yoga. um I noticed if I'm with the right or wrong person, like if I'm in the right place, my headstands are really easy. But if I'm in the wrong place, I couldn't even do headstands. Like I was traumatized. I was like, it was throwing off my whole energy. And I'm like, wow, like on a regular basis, I had to learn that even my relationships were affecting my yoga as a yoga teacher. So that's why when I teach, I'm like, be aware when you use these tools, what's going on inside you, what's going on with life. Like, are you with the right people, are you with the right moment? Like you can really tell when you have a good feeling or a bad feeling, especially in a yoga class, that will miraculously shift into a better experience.
Yeah. So interesting that you touched upon it is so the right place is very important for you to do the right asanas, right?
Yeah.
Is it because of the energetic level, the energy of the place?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, yoga, what I've learned from my journey is a lifestyle. So it's never stopped since I was 15. Whether I was stopping it, I was doing something else that was yoga based. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing something within the whole yoga system, learning with many gurus. So it's a continual work of what they call wholeness, enlightenment, samadhi, and discovering how the mind stops. But, atmosphere has to do with what's going on inside too. Like you could be feeling like shit and you could be in the cleanest atmosphere,
Yeah, that's
and
true. That's true. Yes. There are certainly rich people who are depressed. So I think there are plenty of rich people who are depressed. So that's fair argument to say that.
yeah, so it's the comparison of like what is contentment, what is happiness, and why we use these tools. I think life is ever changing, and we're learning from many aspects of desire into desirelessness. And it's a fluctuation, like the duality, right? We talked about the Pingala, the Ida, and the Shushmana Nadi. Something
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful about those discoveries is teaching Reiki and learning more methodologies. Like they call these three the three diamonds, and but they are the duality that we all face within us. One of its own inner feminine or masculine aspects within us, but then how about the play of being in reality? Like if we're playing with each other, what do we pick up on each other, or are we aware? Are we conscious? So it's just a conscious choices I think that we make when we do these type of practices, that it opens up more light and it gives us a better way to behave amongst humans in their journey of learning and unlearning, because everybody is got these three aspects of these inner dimensions. When you look at the yoga breakdown of our kosha body, our chakra body, the whole energetic system everybody has, and everybody's either working with that duality or fighting against it or drugging it or finding peace with it or fasting with it or it's just the fluctuation of life. So for me, answering the question in relationship to a location where we do it, the location is what's going on in the inside, because the outside will be affected by the inside. Um and it's just about perception, how we're perceiving the moments in our growth, and are we okay with observing. And I'm hoping that these tools are bringing you more observation, because the witnessing body we did in week 2 when we were doing Anada Brahma and we were humming, it brings energy to the center. So the more that we're working through these modalities of the great masters, I think it's just creating greatness.
Yeah, definitely, it's all about growing that observing presence within you, like you said. It's the more you grow that observing presence, the stillness, the more I would say it balances your Pingala and Ida.
Mm,
You told me a good method is that you can always check the flow of breath through your nose, is the right side or the left side.
mm-hmm,
I think that's an awesome tool because it can tell you right away. Like you don't need anything, you don't, you can just right away tell which side is imbalanced, is the right or is it the left, and you can then work on balancing them.
mm,
And I think once you balance them, what happens is your energy starts to shift in a more symbiotic way, in a healthy way,
mm,
and then just the right action. Like there's always, this witnessing presence is always way of telling us what the right action is. Maybe it's just to do something you have to wait, to do something you have to um do it right now. The thing is you always have to listen to that the thing. We may not like it right away. Like I mentioned how is it doing the little things at home, doing the dishes, or maybe I don't like doing them, but the best thing is to do it because while you do them, you're very present. While you, like I said, while you do the laundry, you don't want to do it right away, but when you do it, that just brings so much presence into your life, and that only multiplies the presence within you.
the
Then the right
consciousness,
action.
yeah. Are you noticing like a difference with your consciousness though? Like since you started the yoga practice, like are you aware that, before you go to eat, before you go to drink, before you go out, is there a shift?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would describe the shift as being more in alignment with what I really want to eat, to drink. Like it's I would say consuming healthy food is the main thing for me. But what kind of healthy food is also whole? Like, I could eat something healthy, but that's high in calories. So maybe, I always get this message from the inside that I shouldn't do it. We always just like you always reach to a level, like where you're healthy. But what my consciousness is pushing me is to go to the next level now. Like, you know, 2 or 3 days a week, I generally do eat food that's a little bit high in calories. I go to gym about 3 4 days. But what my consciousness is pushing me to do is go further.
Mm,
Try eating healthy 6 days a week. Try go to the gym 6 days a week. Like
mm,
don't always rush to the steam or the sauna. You always want to go there and relax, but I think the right thing is spend like an hour in the gym, work on the body. The
mm,
consciousness is actually helping me, and it really wants me to focus on the body to get it in the good shape.
mm,
That's like the main, like I would say the biggest thing that's came out of yoga is go
mm,
to the next level with my health, with my physical body.
mm-hmm.
And like every decision, like I said, the way I sleep, the way I eat, the way I work out, my posture is just like something immense I am working on.
Mm.
I have been working on. I just have to take to another level right now.
Well, I hope that you enjoy the process. It's more important, like what yoga really gives us is the observer. When we hold an asana, when we do the regular work of yoga, as we're climbing that mountain, because everybody talks about goal setting, and when they get to their goal, there's another goal. But what if you're enjoying the process? And I think that's what's happening when you're doing the dishes, is you're actually in the process enjoying. That's the key, that yoga makes a difference than any other sport or scientifically proven modality. that I've seen in this life. Because I noticed when I was in the gym 5 days a week, it's beautiful once you get in that rhythm because your flexibility opens, your routine, your oxygen opens better, that you can push yourself. But I find even doing yoga between it all, it disciplines the mind in such a way where sometimes you don't have too much mind involved when you want to push. You actually are the observer and it becomes a little bit more effortless. So I hope that that tool can help you in the gym. And I hope it also can see the purity that gets lost because we're comparative humans and we are not loving our body sometimes through a change. And so body fluctuates. Sometimes we overeat, sometimes we overdrink. But I feel like the consistent flow of doing yoga since I was young or having these modalities in my life is even when I'm uncomfortable, if I gain weight or I get an injury or something, I can always go through small movements with yoga or opening myself up again to find peace with my body because we believe we're the body. We believe that we are this mind. And the yoga kind of just sets it all into a place of acceptance. Do you notice anything different about acceptance?
Definitely, yes. So
Yeah.
repeating patterns, that have been on for years and years now. It's almost like I can't deny anymore what are certain things
Uh-huh.
that I just have to accept. It's behavior of other people, my own behavior. Like something about myself, which I always like. Oh, I want to change this, but it's just accepting yourself. I think is the hardest thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think yoga. But yoga pushed me to do is I really have no way to deny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like before I rush to change, like I see this behavior within myself. I want to change it, but it's just accepting the behavior that you want to change is very essential too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't accept it, then you can't really change it. Whether it be yourself, whether it be other people, it's just accepting other people as who they are, because they're never gonna change. It's one thing is you always want to change people. Maybe they will do the right thing, even though it's the right thing. Sometimes you've been through that experience and you're like, hey, please don't do that. This is
Mm-hmm.
gonna hurt you. But people are who they are. They are on their own journey.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting them who they are, as I accept myself of who I am, is without judgment. I accept them who they are, and I
Mm-hmm.
accept myself without judgment. That's I think that is the foundation of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do this, then whatever emerges through it is you have to go forward with that. Whether it be having a different kind of relationship, making some changes. Is it still compatible or not? Or how you approach it, or how you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can. I mean, you can always try shame people into changing, but that's never gonna happen. That's because that's abuse practically. These are like the old forms of consciousness. That always people shame each other to change into something they want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that never works. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the judging never helps. You judge somebody for what they did. That never helps. So what do you do then? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you move on from such people because it hurts you to be with them or without them? But you can always have a different kind of relationship that you never imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Making changes. Lending somebody time and energy, taking their time and energy, doing different activities with them, of rather than doing what you did with them. Who knows? You just have to be on the ride. You just
Mm-hmm.
have to trust the process.
Yeah, sounds good. And how did you feel doing all these dynamic meditations, screaming and all this stuff? There's a lot involved with Osho's therapy. Did you find it helped to expand the yoga or the knowledge you were learning about your nadis and the inner experience of your energy? Did you see any of that help?
Yeah, definitely. It's like you said, it's pretty dynamic. And it does affect you deeply. Because how often do we even do that? Like, what was the last time I or anybody else has expressed themselves fully? To do
Mm,
such an intense meditation is, I'm sure it could trigger awakening in some people. I'm being very modest, Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just very intense.
Mm.
Like only do it if you're ready for it. Don't do it if you just like it's not for people who are not ready. That's
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
shedding process. Yeah, they got to be ready to
Yeah.
shed something, to be a little bit vulnerable, to open up to new knowledge, and to get into a state um, of stillness, like maybe that at a level that they're not usually used to getting that still for that long and finding out the inner peace there.
Yeah. It's dynamic. Like it's the name says, it's very dynamic.
Mm. So ending this, I think we've got a lot of beautiful things said. Um, I think the most important thing with your energetic system and your body, and now that you have more knowledge, um, what would you recommend to people why to take this course, or uh, the jewels or the nuggets or the diamonds that had good effects on you long term?
If anybody wants to like just be just own themselves fully, be fully in their power, to find out how powerful you really are, whether it's your dating life, whether you want to make more money, you want to be healthier. This is the, I would say, the crux of everything that you really want to do, this yoga class.
Mm,
Like whatever you want, all the problems we have within ourselves, all the pain, the answer is consciousness, your own consciousness, your own presence. You may find a solution outside. There may be doctors or other people who can help you, but to find the right people and to find them the right way, yoga is the basis of everything. I would say everybody should try it at least once. So you can get back fully in your power. And it's not just good for yourself, it's for the good of humanity, because we all are here to unfold a divine purpose. And yoga surely will take you, if not multiple, at least one step closer towards that. So it's worth it.
mm.
It's the best $500 you'll ever spend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, with your purpose and talking about that, was there anything revealed to you within you during this process? Have you had any more insights with a bigger vision of your contribution with your life and your story and what you want to be, what you want to do? Has there been any effect on opening up anything?
I would say it's always never listen to the small guy within you. Never listen to the person who who's the victim within you. Like understand they're in pain or even on the outside. Always look for a vision that's higher in consciousness. You look at the news, you look at the world. All the things that are wrong, that all the wrong things going on in the world. It's almost like it pulls you out of the identity of your insecurity. We all have
Mm,
insecurities, and all of us has certain selves within us that stem from insecurities. A voice that comes from insecurity.
mm,
Yoga helps you to pull that voice, pull that self right from the roots. So no longer a victim of life. So we
mm,
all like that's how you find your purpose. Is when I stop seeing myself, that my divine purpose is to tell everybody, hey, you're not a victim of life. You have challenges for sure. Life's hard as hell. Like there's no doubt it's hard. But don't make it harder by being a victim, by continuing a story of how everybody else oppresses you, you know, but over relying on politics, over engaging in their, you know, it's just it just puts you, like I said, in a truer place. Like
mm,
it has put me in a truer place where I can actually see things more clearly. And
mm-hmm,
slowly, if once I get out of the old place, I go into a new place, and slowly I think I'll be more clear what I have to do.
mm-hmm,
But I think it certainly has to do with it certainly has to do with being a more gentle world than being a harsh one.
mm. Well, it sounds like you've arrived into the jewel of the lotus. You found those beautiful chakras now, and you got the wisdom. And it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. I want to make sure that we continue on this journey, evolving as friends and as a teacher student. And hopefully, I can be an inspiration on your path. And also, I love learning because without a student, there's no teacher. I always feel like the greatest gifts that come from doing this work and taking a risk to meet more people all the time is what they learn from it. And then it re inspires me to continue. So, thank you for showing up to yourself and the opportunity to spread this wisdom in the world and to enlighten more people with the art from the Ascendant Masters and the grace of the divine within.
Yeah. I'm grateful, Leanne. I'm grateful I met you. I believe you have led me to a very positive trajectory in my life. Always be grateful. Thank you for everything. You're an awesome teacher, an awesome guidance. Once again, I'm very glad I met you.
Thank you so much. So we'll see you soon. More to come, friends. This is an opportunity just to be behind the stage, listening to the podcast today, building courage and growth in all areas of communicating about the inner kingdom, and more to come soon. Thank you for showing up, Mandeep.
You're welcome, Leanne. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye bye.